I woke up to someone standing over my bed, and I remember starting to say, hello, who are you, what are you doing, trying to get my brain to wake up and to process. And he didn't say a word. He just started to hit me in the face. And I just remember saying, please stop. I'll do whatever you want, just please stop. And I mean, at this point, I was convinced that I was going to die. I mean, why else would somebody be in my house in the middle of the night, and hitting me? I mean, why else would they be there? It's all I could think is I don't want to die. And then the next thing I know, he pulled me to the edge of the bed, and he started pulling my garments off. And I knew instantly, what he was going to do. He made me turn over and get on my hands and knees on my bed. And he pulled off all of his clothes, and I could hear him undoing his belt buckle and taking off his clothes. It was the most excruciating thing I've ever experienced. Seems like everyone thinks, from my experience thus far, that when you get assaulted, that when the person gets what they want, they just go, and that's it. And that's not what actually happened. He would say things like, you're so amazing, you're so wonderful, and I'm such a horrible person, I can't believe I'm doing this to you. And in one breath, calm, he's calm, and then in the next breath, he'd be telling me to shut the fuck up and to do whatever it was, and if I didn't, that he was going to kill me. On my husband's side of the bed, I would have to lay on his chest while he just held me, and I had to just lay there and wait to see what was going to happen next. I called Josh. I Skyped him. And fortunately, Josh was on an opposite schedule with me, so he worked nights out there, which were days for us, so he was sleeping at the same time as me.
When I answered the phone, all the lights were on, and I could just see from her expression that something was wrong. So I sat up, and she was calling my name, and I said, I'm here, what's wrong? She said,
someone broke into the house and he made me do things. And then security forces showed up, and I pretty much hung up on him.
I went down the hall to the phone and called my supervisor. And my supervisor asked what was going on, and I said, I need to get home. Someone broke in and attacked my wife. And I had no details other than that to tell. It was about 12 hours from the time that I got the phone call that my first sergeant said, hey, we've got a plane ticket for you. We're taking you to the airport right now. Most people who are deployed, they look forward to that homecoming. There was no one there to rush up to me. There was some friends who were there to help me through what was going to be one of the hardest events of my life.
The invasion into my life didn't stop when the man left my house. It didn't stop. It kept going. And I kept having to repeatedly expose myself over and over again, just so he could get caught.
And the guy they arrested was my immediate coworker. Someone who I had a desk with, probably no further than 5-10 feet from me. And I couldn't believe it. When I went back to work, they said, hey, because he's not here anymore, we need you to take care of all his programs that he was in charge of. So you're gonna have to go through his emails, and you're gonna have to find out where he was on these things and fix anything that's wrong with it. And it's gonna be getting inspected, so get to it. My NCOIC, he was one of the people that showed up that night. And he was very supportive until his other airman was arrested. I didn't really know what to do because the support had stopped. I didn't know what I was allowed to say or do. And I went and talked to my supervisor and said, this makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to do this. And instead of any kind of support for that, I was told that I was given a direct order.
It's like all of a sudden, it was as though in order for me to be a victim, it meant that he had to be guilty. But if he was innocent, then I was lying. For people to say that I was cheating on my husband is equivalent to them saying that I wanted it. That I wanted him to come into my house and to force me to have sex with him. To brutally violate me. They were saying that I wanted it. That I deserved it. And that I was a liar. And a cheater. And a whore. And it was everyone. It wasn't just a few people, you know, it wasn't just a couple people, it was the whole base. I mean, and there were people who weren't gossiping, but it doesn't take very many people to spread a rumor and to ruin someone's life. Even after all the evidence came out, people were still spreading rumors and saying that they didn't have the whole story and that everything got twisted in trial and that, you know, they were still trying to say that it wasn't true. It's horrible. Nobody takes sexual assault seriously. I heard my husband's coworkers joke so many times about the briefings and call them death by PowerPoint, and they'd roll their eyes and say, "Oh, this is stupid. This doesn't apply to me." And that attitude turned into calling me names and treating me like crap. And I just can't but think, you know, if you had been there that night, like if you had watched all of this, would you be saying all these things now?
To anyone who ever has said to me that it's over now and you can move forward, it's not over for us. It's something we have to deal with almost every day.
When he touches me and all I can feel and see and smell is Hodge, it feels sometimes like my marriage is over. And we have survived so much. We've gone through so much.
Neither of us have given up on our relationship, and neither of us want to.
I can't let Hodge win. I can't let him take away my life. I can't let him take away my marriage. I may be a different person, but I still get to be me. I get to find a new me. And he doesn't get to take that away because he has ruined so many things for me for the rest of my life, but he's not going to take my life from me.